Hello, you. It is me. And this person was discussed on Brad Palumbo's channel as well as the Panic Button. Both I love and enjoy watching. And what this is in regards to is this person named James, or James is Smiling, on TikTokers. They are in Florida and they needed a new driver's license. So they went in and got a driver's license that says female. Apparently, on a passport, you can claim whatever you want. They claim female, so they were forced to give James a driver's license that says female on it. Now, personally, I couldn't care. James can be female. James could be non-binary. James could be male. James can be what James wants to be. That part I'm not bothered by. Nor am I really bothered by what they claim on their driver's license. But one problem I have with it is in a medical emergency. Let's say that James was hit by a car, God forbid, or got into some kind of serious accident and in some way was incapacitated, could not speak, could not communicate. And it is an emergency life or death situation. They look on the driver's license and it says female. Now, why is that a problem? Because female body parts and male body parts are different on the outside and on the inside. And what might be good emergency treatment for a woman may not be the same kind of good emergency treatment for a male. And this is what disturbs me the most. James can identify as a female. That's fine. But in an emergency, if they're treating James like a female and their physical body parts inside and out are not female, that could be very dangerous. So my solution to this is something that I think all the states can adapt, whether they're conservative or whether they're liberal or whatever they are. Why not just put a T in front of it? Trans female, trans male, TF, TM. Because being trans is not something that needs to be hid. It's not something that is shameful or you should be embarrassed by. It's okay. You can be a trans person. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good. But again, and this is the only thing I can think of that would really be pressing in this situation, is a medical emergency. I think that if there's a TF or a TM, I think conservative people, maybe they'll be more comfortable with that because it's to them more honest. I don't know. But in an emergency, people would know how to treat this person. And I think that that's a great idea. I think I've also heard Nina, the Panic Button, mentioned that in some states, probably including my own, people can also put an X for non-binary. And again, no problem with that. They might have a problem with XF or XM, but I think, again, medically speaking, it could be necessary, and I think it's important because a lot of people, I wouldn't question most people. I don't care. You'd be who you are. If somebody is really putting forth a lot of effort to wear makeup, long hair, and wear dresses as if they are a trans female, or keep their hair short, maybe have a little beard growing if they're a trans man, I might not be able to tell. They might pass really well. That's why I think it's necessary to have some kind of identifier on a driver's license. It's really important. Same with X people who are non-binary, an XM or an XF. I think, I know it sounds contradictory, but again, it lets somebody know in the face of an emergency, oh, they have a female body, so we need to treat it as such. Oh, they have a male body on the inside, so we need to treat that as such. And it may be hard for them. I don't know. I can't pretend to understand what somebody is going through when they don't know how to identify themselves, when they don't feel male or female. I mean, honestly, there's been very few times in my life where I ever felt female. I just was female. I was a tomboy. I loved to be quote unquote masculine and play basketball and baseball and do track and, listen to heavy metal music, And I didn't do these things to impress upon anybody that I was male. I just did these things because these were what I was interested in. Just happened to be considered male. But I was always female. Sometimes I wished I wasn't female. The idea of growing breasts when I was young terrified me. It made me ill to my stomach to think that that would happen to me. But it did. The idea of a period, man, it was worse than I thought. I had horrible periods, extremely painful. It was nightmarish. But even through both those things that I worked through the best that I could, I was still female. And I never felt female. I just knew that's what I was. To have to question that, I would imagine would be extremely painful. It would be really hard. So, I support people. I support them wanting to transition. I support if they need time to figure that out. Either way, be non-binary. That's okay. The whole point is gender isn't based on what you do. It's based on who you are. And if trans is who you are, then okay, I'm fine with that. But on a driver's license, it's important to distinguish the type of female or the type of male that you are. Now, if you're just a guy, or if you're just a girl, M or F is fine. But I think the T or the X would help out in emergency situations. And I think also it is a good a compromise for everybody. This person, James, would get TF. Nothing wrong with that. But again, it could help in some situations to know that. Now, I don't want to be cruel or mean. I don't think that this person necessarily passes. And I feel like since they are apparently a good friend with Dylan Mulvaney, who I think is more of a grifter than anything else, I think this person is quite possibly a grifter as well. I don't particularly like them. But I think that they do raise a point about driver's licenses and how they put down gender. I think trans female would be a good compromise. I think that I can't imagine why any state would argue against that, because I think that it's important to have something there just in case. I don't know. Am I thinking too much about this? You tell me what you think, because again, I personally don't care, but what I do care about are people's safety, especially when they're not able to speak for themselves. And that's why I think this compromise would be a good one. I don't know. Am I completely crazy on this? What do you think about this? You tell me, because I think it would be a good compromise, and I think it would stop all the fussing and the arguing, and just, let it be. There's so much more in the world that is so important to talk about and to work with. This compromise would help, I think, so much because it would no longer have to be a topic of conversation. It's solved. And I think in a way that everybody can, be happy with, at least to some degree. I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, that's all I got to say.